Hi, this is Asa, and welcome to my audio experience. What are you struggling with? What's going on with your health? What's going on with your life? That's what this show's about. We want to help you get to the next level. You might be stuck where you are. You've got diabetes or high blood pressure or maybe chronic kidney disease, and they're telling you you're going to have to go on dialysis. I mean, really? Are you just going to sit back and take it? Or are you going to step up and fight? Are you going to come up with a new lifestyle plan? Are you going to do everything you can to live your potential? That's what it's all about. Our potential is what we have unlimited potential. We're not even tapping into a fraction of it. And I believe we have so much more inside of us where we can reach our potential. And the show's all about that. So phone lines are open. Give us a call, 888-283-7272, or go to the website and check us out there, asarx.com. So great to be with you. It always is. Janet in Winston-Salem sent an email that says, my husband is an Iraq vet. Thank you for that, for sure. Who's dealing with PTSD. Appreciate that service, man. That's a big deal, PTSD. A lot of guys and gals get it. They do. And they've been in combat or been around the combat. It's a big deal. So he's been living with it for a couple of years, but it seems to be getting worse. He can't sleep at night because of the nightmares. I can only imagine. So what do you do? Well, in a situation like this, you really have to look at a couple things. I mean, there is, and again, I don't know his whole story, Janet, so I don't know what he's seen. I don't know what he's walked through. I don't know what he's been through. And so there's the conscious mind and there's a subconscious mind, right? So the conscious mind, subconscious, they work hand in hand, but it's tough because with PTSD, so much of it is working on out of the subconscious, and the things that have been kind of programmed in him based on the things he's been around and his experiences. So that really lays down a foundation for all that he has going on. And that's first and foremost. Second thing you want to look at, and it's really important, is from a nutritional standpoint, there's several things he can do. Because with nightmares, a lot of times you've got high levels of certain amino acids that can trigger some of the nightmares. Like, for example, L-arginine, which is normally supposed to be good for us. It increases growth hormone levels, and it can help with nitric oxide and others, which is good for heart health and really good for overall health. But sometimes if you've got a high level of that, it can trigger nightmares. So again, there can be nutritional reasons for that, but many times the nightmares have to do with what's going on deep down in the subconscious. So counseling, of course, I'm sure hopefully he's done that. You said dealing with it. I'm sure he's had some level of counseling. If not, I would encourage you to get that. Talking about whatever's deep down, it's just why therapy's good. And some people think it's weird and only sissies need to get therapy. But the reality is that until you process that and you release it, see, a lot of times that's why prayer is so powerful. If you're a believer or whatever faith you're in, if that faith practice is prayer, there's a reason for that, because you're releasing things out of you when you're talking to God or whatever you practice. There's power in prayer. One, because, of course, in my opinion, and of course what the Bible says, which is what I agree with personally, there's power in that because God listens, right? He hears us. And that's my belief in it. Well, scientifically, if you just want to go straight science and leave all the faith in Jesus out of it, which is cool, because I'm here to do that too. I'm here to tell you about it. And science will say that when we speak things and our subconscious hears it, that it releases that. It can actually release that from our minds, release that from our spirit, release it from our body, and increase health. So there's a scientific reason why prayer and confessions or meditation or speaking things, it really does work, and it's powerful. So I would just getting around someone, third party, right? Like a counselor that he can build trust with and begin to talk about things, just releasing that by speaking about it, by talking about it, by bringing it to the surface. There's so much healing in that. And I would encourage you to have him do that. And if he's done it, do it again, because it's still there. I mean, the guy's not sleeping, he's having nightmares. So yes, nutritionally, there's a lot you can do. Yes, you want to get him on a really good eating plan. I would get him involved in some level of a provider-guided, personalized nutrition. Don't just blindly go after it, like just doing what the food pyramid says and that's it. you in this situation, who really has to get into a position where he is really building up his system and clearing things out. So you've got to know where the weak areas are and where the strong areas are with a guy like that. And that's how you build a good, solid foundation. So I would do that, follow in those steps, get someone to walk with you in that process, figure out what the deficiencies are, and then build the body up stronger, because he will be stronger. And once you dig into all this, I mean, the emotional piece of our health is huge. I mean, it's a big, big part, and we don't tackle it enough. I think that it's really left behind a lot. We go so much for what's in front of us and what we can tangibly see versus what's deep down on the inside of someone, because that's where a lot of the challenges really do lie. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Give us a call or go to the website, go to asarx.com. Now, also, if you haven't signed up or subscribed to the podcast, you need to. Why have you not done that yet? So our podcast is, of course, every single day. A lot of people just release podcasts once a week. Hey, we put out content every single day. So check it out, the Asa Rx Experience. You can find it anywhere, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Pandora. All of those places carry it, even SoundCloud. So we're on all the outlets. So look for it, the Asa Rx Experience. Brand new information every single day, great content and interviews. I've got a lot of special interviews you won't hear here on the show that I've done just for the podcast. And so you can find those there. A lot of deep dives with some celebrities, sports figures, and people of influence that really have brought a lot of value to the world and are getting close, maybe scratching the surface, they might tell you, to live in their potential. So that's what it's all about. So catch it on the podcast. I'm going to jump in just a moment. I see you waiting on the phones. Hang tight. We're going into a break. And we're going to knock out some calls with you in just a moment. But I want to talk about tobacco use. We're going to talk about that in just a moment as well. It's amazing to me that people still smoke. It really is. With all the knowledge that we have, and I know vaping is the cool thing now, and it's kind of taken its place. But at the end of the day, it's still nicotine, right? And it's addiction, and it's a heavy addiction. And a lot of people struggle with it. I mean, the tobacco industry is taking a hit. But at the end of the day, it's still, whether you're vaping or smoking, still the same concept. And I just want to get into some stats on that and what's happening in our world with it, how it's transitioned, and what we're doing moving forward to clean that up a little bit. We'll be right back. More Healthy Talk Radio. Don't go anywhere. Go to asarx.com. Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today. .com. Let's kick over on the phones. I know you've been waiting on us. Let's go to Virginia. Hi, Virginia.
I have a lot of chronic issue of pain. I got fibromyalgia. I got arthrosis, rheumatoid arthritis. I got spinal disease. I got ball joint. I got bulge on my spine. I got spinal disease. I got fibromyalgia right through my whole body. And, I have a medical doctor, and I don't know. I was just hoping, and I take injections and methotrax for injections. I go every week for that, and I have severe chronic back spasms.
Okay, so it's kind of like, I get it. Okay, a lot going on. So step back for just a moment with me, Virginia, and look at it like this. Yes, you've got all these different conditions. And many times one thing can lead into another, right? One thing can trickle over into another. You get on several medications and you feel like it's just another medication and another one. And here it comes. And, oh, I deserve it. And I don't deserve this, but it's coming my way. And I guess these are just the cards that I have, right? I can hear it in your voice. And I want to tell you that you don't have to stay where you are. Like, even though you've got, as they diagnosed you with spinal disease, like everybody that ages has spinal degeneration. So don't take that as like, oh my gosh, it's awful and your life's over. It's not. So the first thing is your mindset. The first thing is to realize that you have a lot of life left to live. You've been given gifts and talents and abilities, and you want to use that. And the key is to live your potential with where you are right now. I always say, if you do what you can with what you have where you are, if you do what you can with you have where you are, like, we're not complaining. We're taking what we have, maybe diagnosed with a few things, maybe taking some medication. Things may hurt a little bit, or things may not work the way they did 10 years ago. Okay, if you do what you can with what you have where you are, God will increase what you have. I really believe this, and he won't leave you where you are. Some people say life, okay, and that's fine too. However you want to pitch that. But you need to understand that it's amazing how life works. It's amazing how you really can make some changes. And so for you, I would do this. There really needs to be a global shifting of your mindset. Number one, I got to tell you, I'm being straight with you. Okay. No sugarcoating. This is not sugar. I don't like sugar, right? We got enough sugar everywhere in our diet, everywhere else. So last thing you're gonna get from me is sugar, no sugarcoating. So you have to have a global shift. All right. Your eating habits, your exercise habits, your mindset, all of that has to be completely different now than it was yesterday. And I know it's a process. I get it, but let's start here. Okay. You get a copy of my book. Matter of fact, you can get a free copy of my book. If you go to the website, go to asarx.com, you'll see where it says get a free book. I give you the hardback cover or best-selling book for free. You cover a little bit of shipping cost just to get it to you. So you pay to get it to you. I give it to you for free. All right. It's a pretty good deal. So go there and get the book and look, just follow, just read through it. You'll be encouraged. It'll teach you everything about health you ever wanted to know from A to Z. I mean, it is extremely comprehensive. And once you learn that and start studying that, it's got a great diet in it, eating plan. It's called the anti-inflammatory diet. It's easy to follow, very, very simple, and will encourage you. It'll help you. It'll push you, and it'll lay a foundation for you, because you have to cut the inflammation out first. I mean, that is first. You have to do it. Like, that is a key, because you start thinking about, oh, my spine hurts. Oh, my big toe hurts. Oh, there's all kinds of conditions, and from diabetes to heart issues, the whole 9 yards. All of that roots back to an inflammatory condition, typically in the gut. And all that roots back to you not breaking down your foods effectively, not getting the nutrition that you need out of your foods. See, all that's important. All that plays a role. And until that gets corrected, then you're going to be struggling. Until that gets corrected, you're going to be doing exactly what you're doing now. So I would encourage you, first and foremost, to get started. No one is going to take responsibility for your health but you. No one's going to take responsibility for your life for you except you. I mean, you have to take responsibility for your health. And once you do that, then you'll begin to notice huge, huge changes. Okay. Thanks for the call. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Give us a call or go to the website, go to asarx.com. Now, 1 in 4 U.S. adults and 1 in teens still use tobacco. Like, how is that even possible? It just blows me away. I mean, now they've moved. There's no smoking in restaurants at all anywhere, right? Which I'm so grateful for that. And now in the airports, it's so funny. They've got these little smoke rooms. You've seen them, like in Atlanta. It's unbelievable. I go through Atlanta all the time, and I love it. I used to live in Atlanta for years, but in the airport, they get these little smoke rooms. They've got it in Dallas too, Dallas DFW. It's great. You get see in there, they hop in there, they're vaping, they're doing their smoking, they're just puffing away at it. I don't get it. I don't. So with all that we know, with as dangerous as it is, with the side effects that it has, with all the cancer that it's produced, we still do it. It's crazy. So many American adults, teens, they still use tobacco. Researchers looked at this. Check this out. 46,000 people. And they found that 28% of American adults currently use some form of tobacco, while 9% of teens said they use tobacco recently. We know with certainty, they said in the study, that cigarette smoking is incredibly harmful. Lead researcher Andrew Hyland, he's the chairman at the Roswell Park Cancer Institute in New York. Cigarette smoking is responsible for 480,000 deaths in the U.S. each and every year. And e-cigarettes now have kicked in to be the most popular between 18 and 24-year-olds. But yet still, it's become the gold standard. Gregory Connolly of the American Vaping Association said the findings have been available for 2 years or longer. They know now that the effects have been detrimental. So we got to do more, I think, to impact this area. Are you ready to chow? It's time for Keto Chow. When it comes to eating healthy, the keto diet has become one of the nutrition leaders in optimizing health, losing unwanted weight, and reaching your health and wellness goals. No extravagant cooking, no long kitchen cleanup, and most importantly, especially for me, it's convenient. Just put quality Keto Chow powder in a bottle, add some heavy whipping cream or your favorite fat, a little water, and boom, shake it up and you're ready to chow. Keto Chow tastes amazing. So make Keto Chow easy for you and your family today with Keto Chow. Let's go chow. Visit Keto Chow online at ketochow.xyz. That's ketochow.xyz.
To find out more, visit the show online, InShapeNetwork.com.
Welcome back to the show, 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. What are you struggling with? Let's talk about it. Your health, your life. Remember, if the body can get sick, it can also get well. Lifestyle is our medicine. The choices we make every single day can and will determine the kind of health we're going to have. And that really is the key. I mean, the questions that you have about anything to do with your health really comes down to choices. So whatever you decide to do, remember that your choices are going to make the bigger impact in your health more than anything else. Let's get over on the phones and talk to Terry. Hi, Terry.
You had mentioned that at night people have a lot of craving for sweets and all the junk, all the bad stuff. Mm-hmm. And I just was so excited to hear you say that because I kind of thought I was alone in that. I know other people have their cravings and whatnot. Mine was worse than other people's. And I've heard people say things like, well, if you're craving something, it's because your body wants that, your body needs that. Well, there's no way in the world my body is in need of a ice cream or a donut or something like that. So I just kind of wanted to know, what's the cause of that? What's the reason for that? I've been working really hard on changing my health habits. I want to stick around. I have an 8-year-old. I want to see his life out, I want to enjoy that. And I need to get rid of these cravings. What's the deal? I have these late night sweet cravings.
So one of the big keys you got to look at, and I'll tell you, it's a big deal. The sweet cravings come down, and this is something that, like I said, many people struggle with it. A lot of times it's a buildup of yeast in the digestive tract, okay? Because if you eat sugar over and over again or processed carbohydrates, breads, pastas, cereals, crackers, over time, you'll notice that as you eat them, you crave them more. You'll notice as you eat those kind of carbohydrates that your body just tends to get hungrier. Like you could eat a bowl of pasta, be full, and 2 hours later be starving, right? Like you're like, oh my gosh, I could eat a house. And that's how a lot of people gain weight. That's how people become obese, is because of that factor right there. Because the insulin, which is a hormone, right, it goes up and down. And the more it goes up and down, higher and the lower, the more we can increase a lot of our hunger pangs that happen. So the sweet cravings come down to a higher carbohydrate diet and then also a buildup of yeast. So the yeast has to be cleared out of the digestive tract. Now, most evidence-based medicine doesn't really agree with that. That's more of an alternative or complementary medicine thought or mindset. But, I mean, you can clearly, from a clinical practice perspective, not from some double-blind study, okay? Because you don't really find that. That's definitely more from more of a naturopathic type mindset in practice. But we know that yeast can impact for sure and cause these kind of sweet cravings. So you can test it. I mean, get with a provider that works with you on that. If you cut out most of the inflammatory foods and if you cut out all the processed carbohydrates and cut out sugars, many times the body will kind of kill off if there is any yeast in there, it'll get rid of it. But I mean, the biggest thing is just go more with proteins, vegetables, and healthy fats like almonds, walnuts, cashews, avocados. I mean, you can eat carbohydrates. It's not like you got to go keto. That you really don't. I mean, you can have plenty of carbohydrates, but get them in vegetables. Don't do a lot of fruits because here the fruit, again, the fructose sugar is really not going to be super helpful when you're dealing with what you're dealing with. So it's really a matter of getting the right kind of foods in. Fats are great, though. Fats will really cut down on those cravings that you have. So proteins, chicken, fish, beef, or eggs, And then the lower glycemic carbs, vegetables, and even things like peas and beans, those are great because they're very low glycemic. And then your healthy fats, almonds, walnuts, cashews, avocados, macadamia nuts. Those, and just so you know, my two favorites when it comes to fats, I have kind of a trio. I like cooking with coconut oil. It's my favorite. Not that I cook a lot. And the other is I really, really like avocados, huge avocado fan, and macadamia nuts. Those fats are really some of the best. Those have been shown to not impact hormone levels in a negative way. Some nuts can throw off your omega-3, 6, and 9 fatty acid balance. When you do that, it can impact certain hormone levels, right? So the macadamia nuts and avocados are this monounsaturated fat, but they're really clean. And they actually have been shown to improve testosterone levels and our anabolic type hormones that are in our bodies for men and women both. So for the anti-aging cycle, they work really well. And that's something to completely look at. It can make a big difference in all that you do. So I would look at that from the craving perspective. And again, following the anti-inflammatory diet, get a copy of my book. It's free. I send it to you for free. It's hardback. It's our international best-selling book. You go to the website, go to asarx.com, go to myfreehealthbook.com, myfreehealthbook.com, and you can check it out there. And, that's the key. I mean, we want to get it to you. We really do. We want you to have the tools that you need. But it all comes down to eating things like equal amounts of lean protein sources like chicken, fish, beef, or eggs, low glycemic carbohydrates in the fruits and vegetables, but more on the vegetables. And then healthy fats, almonds, walnuts, cashews, avocados, macadamia nuts. Those are my favorite. And really, when you get balanced with your approach of eating, that helps. Now, you can jump into supplements, and you can do things like wormwood, and you can do things that clear out the yeast. Apple cider vinegar is really helpful in that category. Black walnut's good. Wormwood. I mean, I could go on and on and on. Herbs, yes. But it's your day-to-day that really matters. It's your day-to-day that's going to help. Probiotics are great. You should be doing those every day. That's part of my foundational 4. When the probiotic levels are high and balanced in the gut, then the whole yeast issue has a hard time being facilitated. So it's about being proactive. That's what this whole thing is about. And not being reactive. We're reactive too many times in life about everything. So we need to stand firm and be proactive, and then that's where we're going to get a lot of the great success from. And that's where we really begin to win, because it's all about winning, right? It's all about winning. It's all about getting your body to where you want so you can live your potential. That's what this whole deal is about. So thanks so much for the call. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Give us a call. Go to the website. Go to asarx.com. Hey, if you don't have and subscribe to the podcast, definitely do that. The Asa Rx Experience, it's on everywhere. I mean, you go Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, and we put out a brand new podcast every single day. 7 days a week, you're going to get an upload from us, whether it's a new celebrity interview or a sports figure, or maybe a rant that I went on for that day. Maybe me tackling something like diabetes and going into heavy detail. You want me to go into a deep dive with this sort of thing? I can do it. That's what I do. So we put this content out there for you to really be able to help you, encourage you, equip you, and give you the tools that you need so that you can do well. We want to see you live your potential. This show's all about that. It's all about you living your potential. It's all about you getting to that next level. It's all about you being the best version of you. That's what I want to see. I want to see you be the best version of you ever. So that's what we want to focus on. All right. 888-283-7272. Give us a call or go to the website. Go to asarx.com. Let's get on the phone and go to Alexa. Hi, Alexa.
Hey, I have thyroid issues and I've got neck gland problems that my glands swell up at different times. And I just wonder, what can I do to help prevent this neck gland problem? Or is there anything I can do when my ear glands are acting up and my ears hurt so bad?
So your thyroid issue and the glands themselves, two different things. And you're really, they're two different things, but they kind of interrelate with each other, because when the thyroid is not working the way it needs to, there's something deficient in the body. There's something that it's not getting. There's something that's just not working the best. And that's what I would do is I would really step back and say, okay, if the thyroid is not working, but you also have the glands that are getting swollen. So it sounds like there's something going on with the immune system. I would have them check, your physicians, if they haven't already, for a potential autoimmune condition called Hashimoto's thyroiditis. they can do some simple blood tests. They can find and rule in and rule out of that. But the immune system sounds like it's being affected in some way. Because if you get the swelling going on, that's a pretty strong indicator and pretty strong potential that could be happening. And it could be something simple as building your immune system up, and that begins to help. You can have things like vitamin D issues that could be literally causing that issue, causing that area to swell and to be irritated. I mean, it comes down to several. That's why the lab work, we're huge on labs. So in our company, Potential, which is a doctor, provider guided, personalized nutrition company, that's we hang everything on the labs. Everything rises and falls on the numbers. So many times you can find the root cause of what's happening with something if you can get detailed enough about it. I mean, that's the ultimate key. So it really is about getting down to the details. So with the thyroid, of course, you're getting blood work done to have that maintained and checked. So you look at T3, T4, TSH, and they're getting those balanced. That's great. But there's so many things naturally you can do to balance those. And the medications is helpful for a while, but you don't want to have to do that forever, even though they tell you will. Now, if you have the thyroid removed, that's a whole different animal. But there's such great natural methods now to work on the thyroid. The biggest thing is you got to figure out what's really the primary driver. And many times you're going to find the hypothalamus and the anterior pituitary gland to be more the drivers. Thyroid's usually secondary or tertiary on the whole scale. It really isn't kind of the core of everything, even though it is the core of everything, because it's your best feel-good gland that we have and really controls our overall well-being. 888-283-7272. Give us a call. We'll be right back with more Asa Rx. Hi, it's Asa here. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Do you need a new prescription for your life? I have a special gift for all my listeners. I'm giving away a free copy of my international best-selling book to help you truly live your potential. All you have to do is cover the shipping and handling, and I will give you the book absolutely free. I want to invest in you and your health this year. So get your free copy of my book by visiting myfreehealthbook.com. That's myfreehealthbook.com, and let's get healthy together this year. Did you know that you can listen to the Asa Rx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Connect with On Call Radio and watch On Call TV at InShapeNetwork.com.
Triple 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Welcome back to the show. So glad you're with us. Each and every day we're here for you. Listen, if you haven't subscribed to the podcast, do that. It's called the Asa Rx Experience Podcast, and you can easily join on there, and we've got content every single day. Brand new show goes up every single day. You get a show of the radio hour. You can catch what happened here on the show. You need to go back and listen to something again and again. Plus, I've got special interviews and original content that we put inside of there. And it really becomes a go-to place for you to get the kind of healthy information that you need to live a healthy lifestyle and to live the life that you deserve. Because, listen, you were designed to live an amazing life. And no one can take responsibility for your life but you. And on this show, we want to help you just to play a small little role in that and get you to the next level with your health and life. 888-283-7272. Let's get on the phones and talk to Virginia. Hi, Virginia.
I'm suffering from congestive heart failure. As I lay down, I begin to panic because it seems as if I am drowning, and I don't know how to deal with that. Anyway, and I'd like to know if there's something that I can do at home to keep this from continuing to happen.
All right. First of all, one thing I want to tell you is that doing something from home, yeah, there's some things you can do, but the number one issue here, like the number one, is having a great medical team that you see regularly. Because see, what happens is in something like this, you have these kind of symptoms, and maybe you go see your doctor, like the scheduled visits, which is fine, but then you start freaking out because all of a sudden you feel like you're drowning, right? Well, that's a pretty strong indicator of this whole congestive heart failure issue. And that's like gold standard. That's like textbook. So with a fluid buildup. And what do you do at home? Well, number one is you've got to have, your medical team's got to have an amazing game plan for you. If you don't have someone doing the nutritional part, Don't just go wing it and don't go read some diet book, okay? Don't do that. You really need to have a physician or a doctor guided personalized nutrition provider to walk with you in this. It's got to be based on labs, got to be based on the details. It can't be blind. It can't just be guessing. You got to take all of that guesswork out of it. It's got to be strategic, right? Anytime you're strategic about anything, it makes a difference. So it has to be strategic. I want to encourage you to do that. So first and foremost, make sure that you got a good game plan. Now, that being said, one other issue to look at and one key to look at is making sure, and I mean making sure, that you've got some level, whatever they're going to let you do, your medical team, of exercise routine. And it can be extremely low intensity, whatever it is, but get the body moving. And it's more than anything for the lymphatic system, okay? And even if it's mini trampoline or something very basic, whatever, but you've got to have a good game plan. Somebody has to be laying out a good strategy for exercise in your overall lifestyle routine. Somebody has to do that. So those are kind of like when you say, what can I do at home? It's not like take this herb and the congestive heart failure is going to just go away. Now, I'll tell you that your eating habits, making sure you're doing an anti-inflammatory diet, which is in my book. By the way, you get my book for free, hardback copy. If you go to the website, go to myfreehealthbook.com. That's myfreehealthbook.com, and you can pick up a copy of that. But that's really the first and foremost thing that you want to start with, is getting a good eating strategy together so that you can build up your overall game plan. That's where I would start, okay? That's really the overall picture of where you need to go. And once you get that laid out, then you'll be able to be successful, because it's not just this long, drawn-out process. It's not just a bunch of medicine and doctor visits. It is about what you do every single day, but it starts with your daily lifestyle. Like even with congestive heart failure, it's about living your potential. It's about taking what you have, right, and maximizing what you do have. It's not about what you lost. It's about what you have. So the mindset is you look at it from that point and then you move forward. And that's the ultimate key to being successful, okay? But keep me posted. I mean, there are things, obviously, things like CoQ10 and a good, really good solid vitamin B6 and B5, whole food-based supplement. Those are great, but you've got to eat tons of greens, and tons of beans, greens, and berries. Those are the golden three. You get those in on a regular basis. It's like makes your body unstoppable. So those are the ones you want to eat on a regular basis, all right? And as you add those in, and as you make an impact with that, and as you eat the right kind of foods every single day, that's how you start to win this battle. And the battle's not won on these huge battlefields. The battle's won in those details that you do every single day. It's won in the practice of what you do, okay? Keep me posted. Thanks for the call. 888-283-7272. Give us a call or go to the website, asarx.com. What about mold? Moldy homes can mean more asthma. I know I had a ton of allergies when I was a kid. And children appear more likely to develop asthma if their living rooms, kitchens, or bedrooms have mold, moisture damage, or other, according to a new study. Children were most susceptible to developing asthma with mold exposure during the first 2 years of life. Hey, let me say this to you. If you have kids that have chronic allergies or asthma and it never goes away, don't just think they've got some weird genetic thing. Go get your house tested for mold immediately. Burn the thing down if you have to. I know that sounds harsh, but whatever you got to do to get away from the mold, like if you're living in the mold, not good. Like you may love the house, I got it. You may love the bedroom and the kitchen, the living room. It's all decorated perfect. But if you've got mold everywhere and they can't come in and clean it out, which many times if it depends on the level, then get a new place, because it's not worth it what it's going to do to your kids. The asthma increases rapidly for kids and turns into severe allergies and even more, and they'll be on medications forever. And the weird thing is, many people have this going on in their home. They're giving their kids meds, and it's just a big cycle. So that has to change for sure. Puts another hour in the charts. I want to thank our producers, Mr. Fig, Derek Allen, and John Garrison, our chief engineer. Here's the deal. Go tell one person something you learned on the show. Together, we can transform the health of our friends, our families, and our communities. You're listening to the show that helps you live your potential. This is Asa Rx.
Did you know you could listen to the Asa Rx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
This episode is over, but check episode notes for links to products and services you've heard about on this episode. Thanks for listening and subscribing. Please share the Asa Rx audio experience with others and stay in touch by giving us your comment or review.
Hi, this is Asa, and welcome to my audio experience. If the body can get sick, it can also get well. Lifestyle is the medicine. It really is. So your choices today can and will determine the kind of health you're going to have. Now remember, you don't have to be stuck. You don't have to be stuck where you are. Doesn't matter what the doctors told you. Doesn't matter if you have some kind of condition, right? Because the reality is you can get diagnosed with anything anytime. And I will tell you, to live your potential, and we all have a potential that we have not touched. We all have a potential that we haven't reached. We all have an area that we have not even remotely gotten close to, in my opinion. So regardless of what any health challenge is that you're facing, that's why I like to call it a health challenge, because challenges are meant to be overcome. And that is a huge, huge deal that I want you to understand, and I want you to realize when it comes down to this, okay? Because you can transform. You can go to the next level. It doesn't matter if it's diabetes, heart disease, fibromyalgia, depression, arthritis, whatever it is, your big toe hurts, whatever, okay? You can overcome. And I want to see you that. Like on this show, that's what it's all about. It's about living your potential. 888-283-7272. Go to the website. Go to asarx.com. If you want to get my book for free, if you'll go there, we're giving away our best-selling book, my best-selling book, for free. You just cover the shipping cost and we'll send it to you. So it's a gift that I'm giving to everybody right now, because so many people are struggling. They need help. And we've been bombarded with emails and requests for this. So we're actually doing that currently. So if you want to get your free copy of my book, it's a bestseller. You can go to asarx.com, catch it there, and we'll send you a free copy. Just cover the shipping so we can get it to you. All right, let's get over the phones and jump on and talk to Rodney. Hi, Rodney.
I have a doctor that wants me to get an autonomic nervous system test and pseudomotor test done. He says it looks at everything from my cardiovascular health to my nervous system health, and he says it's valuable. I wanted to know what Doc thought about that, if it's something that would be worthwhile. I've never heard of anything like it before.
I tell you, it's a good test. I mean, I'm a big fan of any test that's going to bring value, that will really teach you something. Because here's the deal. Every doctor, any provider that's working with you from any angle needs information. And I think that we get hung up on tests being unnecessary because we've been kind of told that, hey, there's a lot of unnecessary tests that are done. And that is true. There are some, but it's no test is completely unnecessary, I don't think. There's a lot of times you got to look at it. There's three perspectives. There's your perspective, there's the doctor's perspective, and there's the insurance company's perspective. So everybody's kind of, a lot of times they're not in agreement. But if the doctor needs it or the provider needs it to formulate a diagnosis or to make a good decision or to just have more information because they're thinking down a certain line and want to really help you in the best way possible, then yeah, it's a big deal. You should want that. So the autonomic nervous system test, ANS, it's a good test. And for whatever your doctor is looking for, and I'm sure there's more than even what we discussed here, then it'll be helpful to them. So I would encourage you to look at that. And I would encourage you to talk to them and really get down and give them whatever information they need. Let them do the test so they can best serve you and get your body going in the right direction. I mean, that's the key. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. You can give us a call if you haven't joined in the podcast. That is something you definitely want to do. So the podcast is available, of course, iTunes and Spotify, Stitcher, Pandora, all of those. You can find the podcast. But make sure to join in. It's daily, so we take the radio show. If you can't catch us live, we put the radio show there so you can catch the hours of the show there on the podcast. We stream it every single day at the website. So if you want to catch us live every day, just go to the website. You can stream it right there and inside of our app. Look for the Asa Rx app. But you can join in the show each and every day. So we want to be here for you no matter what, to be able to help you and encourage you and really get you to the next level with your health and with your life, because that's what it's all about. So the podcast is a great way to do that. Plus, I've got original content. I have interviews where I get celebrities, sports figures, and people that have a great voice with a great message to be on, and really can be a great way to help you and serve you. And that's what this whole thing's all about. Email came in. By the way, you can email us anytime. Go to asarx.com, send us an email, and we'll make it part of the show. And if you want me to answer in private, we'll do that as well. If you don't want it to be on the show, you just tell us. Say, hey, we don't want it to be on the show. We just want it to be private. That's okay, too. I respect that. All right, Jeff in Boston said, I want to increase my vitamin C intake. I've heard that's really good for you. What's the best way to do this? Well, there's a couple ways to do it. And I am a big fan of vitamin C. Vitamin C is in every cell in the body. Did you know that? So vitamin C is in all of our cells, yet it's water soluble, so it depletes out of the body very quickly. So it's rapidly depleted out of our system, which that's not a good thing, right? So you don't want it to deplete a lot. However, one of the big keys with vitamin C is that it helps rebuild collagen in the connective tissue. So I'm a big fan of it. I take a lot of it, okay? I always have. And in the testing that I do, of course, just like I tell you to get tested all the time nutritionally, for me, my body eats up vitamin C like it's going out of style. So there is a buffered vitamin C that is really good. It's got mineral ascorbates in with the vitamin C that helps the absorption into the cells, which I like. And so the buffered vitamin C is really the best way to go. I do 6,000 a day milligrams, and that's for me. Okay, that's what I do. Everyone's different. You can start out with 2,000 milligrams, 3,000. Everybody's different. So I recommend getting tested to see what your levels are. You know, there's a lot of new nutritional testing done. If you need a provider that can do that, our providers, our doctors will actually help you do that. And we've got nutritional testing that we do. That's what we do. So we have a company called Potential, and that's what we do. But yeah, I mean, if you need help with that, our lifestyle providers all over the country can help. The big deal is this. You want to focus in on getting the right amount for your body, and it's different for everyone. We'll be right back. Are you ready to chow? It's time for Keto Chow. When it comes to eating healthy, the keto diet has become one of the nutrition leaders in optimizing health, losing unwanted weight, and reaching your health and wellness goals. No extravagant cooking, no long kitchen cleanup, and most importantly, especially for me, it's convenient. Just put quality Keto Chow powder in a bottle, add some heavy whipping cream or your favorite fat, a little water, and boom, shake it up and you're ready to chow. Keto Chow tastes amazing. So make Keto Chow easy for you and your family today with Keto Chow. Let's go chow. Visit Keto Chow online at ketochow.xyz. That's ketochow.xyz.
To find out more, connect with On Call Radio online at InShapeNetwork.com.
Triple 828-37272. That's 888-283-7272. So glad you're with us. Check us out on the web. Go to asarx.com. Now, there's an epidemic in the country right now. And I do call it an epidemic because it is an epidemic. It's something that's a big, big deal. And I'm pretty fired up about it. Like, we need to do something about it. And I'm doing something about it every day because I'm pretty hacked off about it. So in this company, with our voice and what we do, we're able to really impact a lot of people because, of course, we've got about 4 million people that we talk to every day, which is kind of cool. It's a real blessing. So with that, I just want to tell you that kids' obesity, like it's got to stop. Okay. I mean, I think we're all in agreement. It has to stop. Like this whole thing with kids being overweight, it's a big deal. So severely obese kids now, we're knowing through the research that are higher risk for heart disease and diabetes. I mean, who would have thought a child that's 10 would have to worry about heart disease? Like, what is up with that? Or even diabetes. 1 out of 3 of our young people right now has been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. That's not like the genetic kids juvenile diabetes, which is called type 1. That's not like that. This is from eating the wrong kind of foods over a long period of time kind of diabetes that like you get when you're 40, not when you're 10, which means that they've been eating such poor foods and have such poor lifestyle that they have diabetes. Okay. I get fired up if you can't tell. So it's something that I'm really passionate about, and I want to see this thing come to an end. Children who are severely obese, especially boys, have risk factors that increase their odds of getting heart disease and diabetes. So they said as the severity of obesity in kids gets worse, and it's getting worse. They did a study at the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill. Children who are the most obese, they said, are twice as likely to have some of the risk factors for heart disease and diabetes as the mildly obese. The fact is that the doubling of risk came from a comparison to mildly obese children, not normal weight kids, is especially concerning. There was a study done with the New England Journal of Medicine, and it said severe obesity is on the rise among U.S. children and young adults. And 4% of children were severely obese, and by recent years, 6% were severely obese, the study said. So Dr. Skinner and the colleagues looked at this. They did a co-study with the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey. And in this, they were looking at kids that were 10 up to about 12. And the researchers looked at all the different factors. They looked at cholesterol, blood pressure. They monitored blood sugar levels. Using the children in what they call a class 1 reference comparison group, the bottom line is blood pressures were worse in those who were obese. Boys who were severely obese were more than 7 times more likely to have high blood pressure. It's crazy. Imagine you're 11, you're a young child, right? They're 11. Like they're supposed to be out playing games and football and riding skateboards and doing all that, and they got high blood pressure. It's unbelievable. So Dr. William Munoz, he's the Associate Director of Pediatric Gastroenterology and directs the weight management program at the Nicholas Children's Hospital in Miami. He reviewed the findings and he said, tell patients that it's all about the parents. So parents, it's up to you. Okay. It's up to us. I'm a parent. Parents, it's up to you to really join in and take this cause up, because it's a cause that's really serious. And it's up to you parents to take responsibility for your kids and what they're putting inside their bodies and the types of foods that they eat on a regular basis. And if they are getting overweight, you've got to step in and say something. If they are getting overweight, you've got to make a change and create transition. Like nobody else is going to take responsibility for your health but you, and no one is going to take responsibility for the health of your kids, I can promise you, except you. So it's an epidemic. We have to do something about it. That's for sure. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Lines are open with questions about your health. You can give us a call. Go to the website, go to asarx.com. That's asarx.com. Now, as a situation I want to jump into and talk about stress. Stress is, as we know, a leading killer. And you may just say stress is no big deal. Oh, we call it stress management. We try to soften it, make it sound like it's no big deal. Stress is a big deal. And stress is really the underlying cause of a lot of these health challenges that we face. It's kind of the core system of why that happens in the first place. So stress is a big deal. And anytime you can do something to eradicate stress, that's what you want to do. So resilience is something that we like to talk about a lot. But remember, I'm going to give you a couple of tips on managing stress. Super important. Number one, remember that stress is here. You can't get rid of it. So it's good to acknowledge that, number one, to know that you can't do anything about stress. You have to manage it. You got to hit it head on. You got to face it no matter what it is. So understanding that, number one. Number two, when it comes to stress, you really need to get down and say, okay, how can this situation, whatever it is, how can I come up with a game plan to hit this head on. And whatever you do, don't turn to substances. Like, don't turn to alcohol and supplements to ease anxiety, and junk food to self-soothe. Like, don't do that. You need to come up with practical ways, like taking a walk outside, going swimming, riding a bike, reading a book, having a conversation with someone you care and love about. Maybe you're an extroverted type person, and talking actually it makes you excited or makes you feel better, whatever it is. Find these areas that you can jump into that can help, because stress is about managing. You can't get rid of it, but that's why laughter is such a big deal. You know why the physiology of that is so important with laughter? Comedians, a lot of times comedians know a lot about pain and they know a lot about stress, because they have become funny to deal with a lot of the stressors and things in their own life. So they actually learned that humor, and they've realized that if they can make somebody else laugh, that it's their gift to the world. If they can take somebody out of their pain or their stress for just a moment, then it can make a difference. So these are all keys when you're dealing with stress. We'll be right back. 888-283-7272. Did you know that you can listen to the Asa Rx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Connect with On Call Radio and watch On Call TV at InShapeNetwork.com.
Lines are open, 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Welcome back to the show. Always glad to have you with us. You can check out the website. Go to asarx.com. We're continuing a conversation with my good friend Dale Bellis. He's founder and chairman of Liberty Health Share, and we're talking about the health sharing model versus traditional health insurance and the differences. There is a program that they have at Liberty Health Share called Health Track, where if someone has a pre-existing condition or they're challenged with something on the health and wellness side, it's a program that helps get you back on track, hence the name Health Track. And we were discussing the reasons why that's important, how you kind of graduate from that, because there is an extra cost to it, but it does fall off. So Dale was explaining that. Dale, if you don't mind jumping right back into that.
Absolutely. We had 1,605 people join the program with an indication of the need to lose weight. We assigned them a health coach. They paid their additional $80, and then the health coach would just simply help them set their weight goal and adjust their diet plan and alter their lifestyle, because as we all know, it's all about lifestyle change. It's not about going on a diet. And so they would assist them with those lifestyle changes and would reach that weight goal. We would celebrate their success. They would drop off the program. The $80 would drop off. And that 1,605 people as a group lost over 32,000 pounds together.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
16 tons.
See, I love it when you say that. That gets me every time. The tons gets me every time.
Yeah, they just flooded us with testimonials about how life-changing and transforming it was. And Dr. Asa, I'd submit to you that one of the elements for change that we rarely implement is that sense of voluntary asking someone to come alongside of us and be accountable. And so that voluntary sense of accountability, we give someone permission to check in on us, and that just changes our whole approach to a lifestyle decision, and that's been a significant part of the success of Health Track.
Yeah, I'm sure it has. I'm a big fan of that, and I think it does separate Liberty Health Share from all the others in all categories, because when you invest in the culture of the people, and that's what's so great about health sharing, you become a member of this culture of people that are helping people. And it's just a model that is just not out there except now with Liberty. So I really am a big fan. So as you were seeing this thing come to pass and building this out, what do you think caused the explosion of it and really the need for it? Was it the Obamacare movement? What do you think caused that?
Well, skyrocketing costs have certainly been a factor. That's the first thing that catches a person's attention.
For sure.
Is the cost differential. But what hooks them and keeps them here is that relational dimension. Our members tell us of the top two reasons, first being the cost, which is a stewardship issue, but number two is the relational dimension. When I realize that I've suddenly transformed my healthcare dollars from a sterile amount of money going to a company's black hole somewhere and transforming it into a life-changing contribution and investment in the life of another person, my money is flowing from my ShareBox account to another living, breathing human being who's undergoing a healthcare crisis or a need, and I can support them, encourage them, pray for them, and give money to assist that individual. That relational dimension is what brings such a sense of significance and value of worth that I'm really being used to impact another person's life, and we get to do that every month, Dr. Asa. That's why it's such a blast.
It's such a blast. And with the cost rising so much as they have, a lot of people will jump into something like this and think, oh, it's just cheap insurance. But at the end of the day, they find out that the culture is what makes everything stand out from the rest. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. It's that what I refer to as relational health care. Now, we join together as a group and a community and literally provide resources that we provide to our members to address the health care costs in America. They're unrestrained. And the only way in which to attack it is if we are empowered as consumers. And that means putting tools in the hands of our members to shop for the best price. In fact, I have to tell you this quickly. I met with our local 16th District Congressman today.
Wow. Tell me. I want to hear.
Along with a group of other healthcare professionals, hospital administrators and large employers and physicians, et cetera. And we had kind of a roundtable discussion about healthcare, and they put me on the spot, and I got to hold forth for about 15, 20 minutes with them all, explaining, wouldn't it be incredible if we treated healthcare the same way we do every other sector of our economic lives? When you and I go to have our car repaired, we know exactly what the price is going to be. We can inspect the quality of their work, and I match their pricing with what I pay at the counter, and I walk away happy. I go to the grocery store, it's the same principle. If you're like my wife, man, she examines the bill at the end of the night when we go out to a restaurant to make sure nothing was added that we didn't order. That's how we order. That's how we engage in economic decisions all day, every day, in every aspect of our lives. Think about health care. Nobody knows what the cost is.
Nobody knows.
You can't. If you ask somebody at the hospital, how much is a surgery going to be, they can't tell you. There's a problem with that. And we've got to change the system and the dynamic and the methodology in which pricing is provided to the consumer in health care so that the consumer can make those choices and decisions.
I completely agree. Well, we've got Dale Bellis with us. He is the founder and chairman of Liberty Health Share. You can check them out, even join by going to libertyhealthshare.org. It's a move that I made from traditional health insurance over to the health sharing model. And I have to tell you, it's been one of the greatest decisions that I've ever made personally and for my family. It's been really, really great. So, Dale, I want to thank you so much for being with us. It's always a pleasure to have you, my friend, and we will be back together real soon. That's another hour in the charts. I want to thank our producers, Derek Allen and Alejandro, of course, John Garrison, our chief engineer. Go tell one person something you learned on the show. Together, we can transform the health of our friends, our families, and our communities.
Did you know you could listen to the Asa Rx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
This episode is over, but check episode notes for links to products and services you've heard about on this episode. Thanks for listening and subscribing. Please share the Asa Rx audio experience with others and stay in touch by giving us your comment or review.
Hi, this is Asa, and welcome to my audio experience. What are you struggling with tonight? If it's diabetes, heart disease, little arthritis, fibromyalgia, maybe some anxiety or depression, you're in the right place. This is On Call, a place for maybe a second opinion for many of you. if you're dealing with different things, don't know where to turn, need answers for your health, and maybe you don't have health insurance and you can't go talk to a doctor, well, you can talk to one tonight. That's what we're here for. Here to be a place where you can bounce ideas off and get great information to you to empower your health and your life. Let's go off with Sylvia. Hi, Sylvia. Welcome, darling. How can I help?
Hi.
Hi there.
Hi, I'm calling. I heard about you from someone in Albany, New York, and about a year ago, I started with palpitations, heaviness in my chest, a lot of dizziness and pressure that goes and comes, and a rapid weight loss. I was 157 pounds a year, 11 and a half months ago, and I'm 114 pounds.
Oh, my goodness.
Doctors have been having a difficult time finding out what's exactly going on with me.
Okay. Now, Sylvia, did they do some blood tests and did they check your thyroid? And are they telling you everything's okay there?
They checked my thyroid. They didn't really run like a major panel, but like the normal panel blood testing they did. I've had an endoscopy last week. They're trying to do a gastric study to see how my stomach empties from food. And all the, praise God, I don't have any cancer. They say I don't have that, and I have a normal esophagus lining. And but it's just very frustrating because I was healthy 11 and a half months ago, and
then all of a sudden things started changing. Now, did anything major happen in your life at that time?
No.
Did you go through any stress, or did things just kind of took off from you were living fine, everything was going great, and then all of a sudden your health just things started changing? Is that right?
Well, I have 4 kids, and I'm a widow, and I've been dealing with stress, but I stood healthy as a horse. But then
how long have you been a widow, Sylvia?
I'm going to be 4 years on June 29th. I've been a widow.
Okay, bless your heart. I know that's a lot to go through. 4 kids.
Yeah, but even with that, I had lost my mother, and then 3 years later lost my husband, but I still was able to function and feel very strong, and my body was like talking to me, letting me know something's not right. This is not just a normal cold or cough. And I have this dizziness and pressure in my head where I had an MRI, and that came back negative, praise God. But they don't really know why that's happening, why I had this coming and going of palpitations. I have potassium leak. I have so many different things going on. But
so they did say potassium is leaking? They did say that? Okay, that's good information. All right. Well, there's several things that happen. Now, when you go through a stress, that's why I was asking you, something had to be going on stress-wise in your life. And a lot of times we don't see the effects of that immediately. So, for example, if you lose somebody and you go through a very traumatic time and it's just very depressing and it's just a very difficult time, typically the results that you'll see on the physiology of your body won't happen immediately. So 3 and 4 years of time is fairly normal for us to start seeing some things change and things in our body change, that is, as a result of a really tough life stressor like you losing your husband and your mother. I mean, those two things combined, compounded on top of each other, is very hard for the body to deal with. And even if you're a strong person, like you're just that kind of person that you can weather through life and you can put on the happy face and be strong for your kids and press through and we're going to make it, and which is a great attitude, a can-do attitude. Nothing's really going to hold me down. And that builds over a period of time. And when you go through a lot of grief and that sort of thing, it can negatively affect your body. And it shows up in different ways. I mean, literally, the mind-body connection is very strong, and mind-body medicine is coming on even stronger right now. And we've learned that these negative stressors of life can definitely affect the body. So right now you could be getting blood work done and getting all this tests done, and everything's coming back normal. And you're looking at them, and they're looking at you, and the doctors are kind of shrugging their shoulders like, Sylvia, we don't know. Yeah. And is that what's going on right now for the most part?
Oh, yeah. I'm 40 years old, and I've been through more than 40 doctors in a year. And
My goodness.
Doctors right away want to make it seem like it's psychiatric, and I'm like, who wants to go through this? I don't want to lose all this weight. I don't want to feel like this. I enjoy being a super mom. I enjoy being the way God made me, healthy. And I don't want to be like this because literally my children's future depends upon my future, my health. When you're healthy, you look healthy, you feel healthy,
That's
you
right.
look good, and you can conquer so many things. But when you're not feeling too great, you're just constantly lying down, and I don't want to do that. I want to be better.
No, you do. Right.
Yes. I have the will to live. I want to be better, and I just want this to go away, to just be my past, and I want to get better.
Yeah, that's a great attitude. I really love it. That's great. That's the kind of attitude that most people need to have, Sylvia. So you have that aspect of your health, which is really important, and that fighter in you, which is really strong, which is really great to have. Not a lot of people have that. Mm-hmm. That fighter in you is really good. It enables you to press through a lot of things in life that normally you never could. Right. But in regards to where you are right now and losing weight, and let me ask you this. This is important. Mm-hmm. In the middle of you dropping this weight, did they go down the lines? I mean, are your bowel movements any different? Did they go down the lines of irritable bowel at all? Did they even throw that around with you?
My bowels, sometimes they're formed, sometimes they're diarrhea. But I don't know, because when you have the endoscopy, I presume, I don't know for sure if they're also checking out for that.
They're looking for several things with that. But I didn't know if they had mentioned, if they had kicked around colitis or irritable bowel syndrome. Irritable bowel syndrome is kind of a blanket statement when we really don't know what's going on. There's just some irritation in your bowels, and it can cause you to have loose stool, which can cause you to have malabsorption, which means you're not absorbing the foods you're eating very well, and it can cause you to lose that weight that you've been losing, and stress brings that on.
Yes.
So that's why I was curious to see if they had thrown that around. All right, have you made any changes in your diet to maybe get your body absorbing things a little bit better?
I'm still eating. I don't eat very healthy food, but I'm not eating anything different. I'm not. I wasn't previous to that a big eater, and I also had been on Depo-Provera. So that gave me all the weight, and then I noticed I was on that for like 10 years, and I noticed why I'm losing weight.
Right.
Instead of keeping the weight on with the Depo.
Putting it back on. I think what you should do, Sylvia, and this is just a beginning phase, I'd like to work through this with you, is get my book, Empowering Your Health, and get started on the anti-inflammatory diet. Here's why. It will start removing inflammation from the body. That's the first step with where you are, and see if we can't get your body absorbing things better. There's another component called intrinsic factor. Intrinsic factor is something you can pick up at a health food store, and it's very good. Let's see if we can help you there. But get some intrinsic factor. It'll start helping your body absorb nutrients better, and then we'll go to the next phase. Call me back in a couple of weeks. This is On Call, 888-283-7272. Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
To find out more, connect with On Call Radio online at InShapeNetwork.com.
Phone lines are open this hour, 888-283-7272. You're listening to On Call. Don't forget, check out our weekly email newsletter. It's something we send out each and every week. Great information to empower your health and your life. And also, don't forget Facebook and Twitter. Those worlds are so important now. We want to join up with you and have you be friends and fans and all that kind of stuff. And we're loading up Facebook now. We're going to be doing some giveaways and things, foundational fours and books and things that we're going to be giving away. So keep your eye out at Facebook. That's where we're going to be doing that. And be a fan, and we can stay in touch with each other that way. Also, we have a news section, Your Success Story. And it's really one of those things where we've put it up there where you just fill out a form and you shoot it to us and just tell us what's going on with your life. That's really what it's for. You can tell us if you've lost 5 pounds or your cholesterol points have gone down, or maybe you're just feeling better and you have more energy, or you stop eating gluten like I hope that you are. the little protein that's in most grains. You can go gluten-free. Don't worry. I'm not taking away your bread. We're just giving you some options so you can live better and feel better. But anyway, the things that have changed in your life, we want to hear about it. We want to celebrate your life with you, and that's your success stories at 888-283-7272. Let's go to Ken. Hi, Ken. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for taking my call.
Of course. Great to talk with you, Ken.
Okay. I'm a long-distance truck driver for 20 years. I've had severe headaches across between a migraine and a hangover, starting from the bottom of my skull and the back of my head, going to the top of my head, protruding out to my eyes and somewhat out to my ears. It's nonstop, every second, minute, hour, day, week, And God bless my wife for putting up with me, but I'm very irritable. I need to get rid of this headache. I have seen 2 pain specialists. First off, I like to know what doctor I need to go see for this problem. If I go to a surgeon, yes, it's surgery. If I go to a pain specialist, yes, it's drugs. If I go here, I go here, I go here. You know what I mean?
I get it. I get it, Ken. Totally. I get it.
And the first diagnosis, my first pain specialist, she was saying I had no cartilage up in my 5 top vertebrae, and she was doing radio frequency, which is cutting the nerves off the spine to the brain, burning them off.
Oh, yeah.
And that worked. She did it maybe 6-7 times, and it worked once. Okay, and she had me on oxys, which, as we all know, is a very addictive narcotic drug, and I'm on them now, and I need to get off of those things. And the second doctor I'm seeing now says that she misdiagnosed my problem, that he x-rayed and see spurs now on the 1 in 5, I believe it is.
Okay.
And I need to know, what do I do? I'm on valproic acid now, if I said that correctly. And also
you did, valproic acid. How's it? Is it helping at all? I mean, tell me how. Is anything you're taking helping?
The painkillers.
That's it.
And I've been on them for 3 years, and they're not really doing it anymore either. I was taking 8-9 Tylenols at one time, plus 3-4 BC powders, and then I burned a hole in my intestine and had to have surgery.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
all right, so we got – okay, I get it. I completely get it. So they're saying right now that your neck pretty much has got some challenges to it, and that's where you're getting a lot of the pain from. But the pain you said is coming from the top of your head and kind of wraps around, right? Not from the base of your neck.
It comes from the bottom of my skull in the back up to the top of my head and wraps around.
Oh, up to the top. I got it. Okay.
Right. And then out toward the eyes and out toward the ears, but sometimes I have a lot of ear wax buildup, which I don't know has anything to do with anything. I also have numbness going down both my arms, from my palm to my little pinky.
No, I get it. I get it.
They did muscle and nerve. They said no damage there.
There's 2 physicians I would go see. The 2 docs I would go see, one is called a DO, osteopathic medicine. Here's why. Osteopathic physicians work with the structural part of the body as well as medicine. So they combine the 2, and they do a lot of what's called cranial work. And cranial work, if you've ever seen a skull, the little squiggly lines on the skull, you ever seen that? The little, you know what I'm talking about? You can see the little lines and the little, okay, those lines that go all the way around the skull, there's different plates in the skull, and those can shift and move very slightly. I mean, it's microscopically, but there's ways with breathing techniques to do what they call cranial work. And that can help if there's even the slightest bit of nerve irritation anywhere. Doing that cranial work can help with people that are dealing with a lot of headaches. It also, they can work with what's at the base of the skull, and it's called the occiput. And that occiput area, the occipital area, actually has muscles that attach to it obviously from your back and your shoulders, your trapezius muscles, which would be your traps. They link into there. Okay, so they're working on that now, but you're going to have somebody work on.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You're going to have somebody work on the structural part as well, not just the musculature, but the structural part as well. And the structural part meaning the actual bones themselves, and actually getting some movement in those. So sometimes scar tissue can build up around the bones. It can cause irritation in the nerves. Now, a chiropractic physician, a DC, can work very well with this, and it can get good results. You just need to find the right one that's been well trained in different areas, that has a lot of training in nutrition as well. But the structural part of that is going to be the big component. See, there's 3 main areas that we look at in natural medicine. There's the mental side, that's your brain chemistry.
and your subconscious mind, that kind of thing. And then the body chemistry, which is the chemical side of the triangle, and that's your body physiology, how well it works. You know, your heart, your liver, your lungs, your kidneys, and then also the structural side, bones, muscles, nerves. But they're all interconnected, literally. And so even though you're under a lot of stress as far as your job, driving, and you've had this issue kind of creep up on you, I think getting to one of these physicians is going to help, because painkillers, if it's a structural issue, it's like going to a leaning building and taking a water hose and spraying it, hoping that it's going to make the building go straight again. So the medication is not going to fix that. It's only going to mask the symptom. In this case, now medication works well in other areas, but I think in this case it's just masking symptoms. You got to get to that building and fix the foundation and get it back where it needs to be. You got to get someone to go in there and actually move the building. That's what a DO or a DC, they'd be great in this case. So that's what I encourage you to do. But let me know how things go in a couple weeks. Call me back and let me know. 888-283-7272. This is On Call.
Did you know that you can listen to the Asa Rx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
To find out more, visit the show online, InShapeNetwork.com.
Phone lines are open, 888-283-7272. This is On Call, the show that's diagnosing hope one caller at a time. Quote for the day from John Cage. He says, "What I can't understand is why people are so afraid of new ideas. I'm afraid of the old ones." It's a great quote. We seem to get stuck a lot of times in the way that we think. We've been doing things the same way for so many years, and we don't look at the trends, and we don't look at the chance to change and get better. And if we start looking at those, whether it's with our health or our life, we'll see that's the only way, actually, to see great improvements in our life and to really further our lives and get better. Because that's really what it's all about. Whether it's with our health or our life, is getting better, right? It's about moving forward in our life. That's what we were designed. We were never designed just to stay the same and live the same old life. If we do that, then we're going to have the same old life we've always had. We're not going to move forward. We're not going to achieve new goals and achieve new dreams and move into the life that really we've been called to live in. And that's true with our health. And it's true. It's the old ideas we need to be afraid of. You know, sometimes you ever go to certain places and talk to certain people and they want to keep doing things the same old way. We can't do that. We've got to move forward and come up with new ideas, keep growing. That's what this thing called life is all about. And that's what our bodies are doing. Our bodies are still growing every day, changing every day. And the good news is that our health can be changed. If we make radical changes in our life, then we can look at the radical results that we're looking for. But we have to be willing to do that. And it takes a mindset. That's why I always say, do you want to get well? Because if somebody wants to get well, no matter how hard it might be, no matter what they're dealing with, then they truly can get well. They take the right steps to do that. But it comes down to the individual to make the right decisions to move forward in their life. 888-283-7272. Let's go to D. Hi, D. Welcome to the show.
I have a question about your anti-inflammatory diet. About the, I hear on the radio you're telling a lot of people, the basis of the diet is wheat-free and cow's milk. Get off the cow's milk, dairy, and when I go to the health food store and I'm looking for wheat-free. Does that also mean it's basically a gluten-free diet, right? So it is. Barley and the oats and the rye and
yeah, it is. And let me break that down even one step further for you. There's 4 grains that typically don't have gluten in them. Okay, and here's the 4: rice flour, coconut flour, hemp flour, HEMP, hemp flour, and then also buckwheat flour. Those are the 4 that don't have gluten in them. Now, here's the deal, though. The reason, if you'll hear me, I sound like a broken record a lot of times because I say it so much. But I'm really trying to educate people to understand how important it is. To come off gluten, you want to come off of it. I would stay away from all grains for 8 weeks. It takes 7.5 weeks.
Do you mean barley, oats, and rye also?
Yes. Those are all grains. Yes.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
They are. So you want to stay off all grains for 8 weeks. That allows the gluten, the effects that it's had on your body, to eliminate itself out of the body completely, right? Okay. And then after that, if you want to go to gluten-free grains and use those, they're fine. That's no big deal. It's just you really want to stay away from the gluten. That is the challenge. And that's what's so hard on our bodies, causes a lot of the inflammation, causes a lot of food allergies and things like that. So, yeah, that makes a big difference. But and here's the deal. Oatmeal technically would not be full of gluten. However, it's processed in a lot of the same bins, the big barns and things that they do for the grains. And when they do that, the actual gluten component, the actual protein, makes its way over to the big. It's almost like the big oat stack, if you will, where they stack it all, and that's how the gluten gets into the oatmeal. So that's why you have to steer clear of oats, because there's a lot of gluten in there, and that's why you want to steer clear. So coconut flour, rice flour, hemp flour, buckwheat flour, those are the 4 that don't contain gluten. And yes, when you go to the store and you're looking for breads or pastas or whatever, you always look for gluten-free. So it's not really, you want to stay away from wheat, period. Buckwheat's okay, but regular wheat you want to stay away from. And any bread that you get, which most of it's going to be rice bread or the hemp bread, you want to make sure it always says gluten-free on it. That is the key, and that's going to be your best bet when you're dealing with the grains. And that'll keep you on track. But, 8 weeks completely off of grains. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. This is on call. Donald from Birmingham, Alabama, says, my dad is suffering with prostate cancer. Donald, that's a tough thing for a guy to go through for sure, and I know it's tough for you to be watching your dad. And he says in the email, he says, what do I do to prevent this in my life? Well, know this. First, be encouraged. Let me give you some encouragement. The encouragement, Donald, is that not everything is genetics. And even though we're dealing with cancer here in your case, it's still not everything is genetics. So 80% of the health challenges are diet and lifestyle related. That means that somehow, some way, we've lifestyled our way in. But the good news is we can also lifestyle our way out based on the changes that we make every single day in our lives. So with cancer, yes, there is genetic involvement, but is it everything? Not really, because you don't even know if the cancer gene would be turned on in your body or if you have that genetic link up. So it's what's called the hit theory in cancer. And the hit theory they found is where it's almost like there's 2 light switches. It's a good way to look at it. Definitely see that in people that are dealing with all kinds of health challenges, and how some simple changes can make the biggest differences. So when you're dealing with prostate issues and you're concerned about your dad, first, encourage your dad in this, that if he can make some radical changes in what he's doing, it can help everything, especially with his prostate. So here's the little prostate protocol. Now, this is whether you're dealing with cancer in the prostate, or which makes sure, I'm certain he has a good oncologist, so just make sure that he's got a strong oncologist working with him. But here's the deal with prostate health is a better way to put it. But you want to do an avocado every single day. You can do this for prevention. This is the same thing. An avocado every single day keeps prostate issues away. Why? It has a component in it called beta-sitosterol. And beta-sitosterol has been shown to help keep the prostate healthy. And if it's got swelling to it, whatnot, like benign prostatic hypertrophy, the BPH, it can help bring that down. The other is saw palmetto. You can do about 1,500 milligrams of that. That's typically what's on the label for saw palmetto. And pumpkin seed oil, tablespoon a day of that, works very well at blocking DHT, which dihydroxytestosterone is a big player in prostate cancer and also prostate issues of all kinds. So the pumpkin seed oil helps with that component of it. Not ionic zinc. Ionic zinc is a major one too, because guys, all of us deal with zinc issues. Zinc is the driving force for testosterone in our bodies. And when we get low on zinc, which a lot of us do just because of stress levels and whatever, that causes a real challenge within our health. And so we want to make sure that we keep our zinc levels up, and that's going to protect us against prostate, because prostate cancer is creeping up within men. It's becoming one of the top challenges that guys deal with. So, Donald, you're asking about your dad. There's a lot he can do. Also, make sure he follows the anti-inflammatory diet that's in my book, Empowering Your Health. It will help his body restore and function better. And then also, there's a thing called Easiac Tea. Easiac Tea works very well in managing the body's immune system when somebody's dealing with cancer, and it can help him tremendously. Thanks for that email, though. But just be encouraged. Just because your dad had it doesn't mean you're going to have it. I always say, just because grandma, grandpa, whoever had something doesn't mean it's coming down the pipeline to you. So don't get that in your mind yet. It's very important. Just start doing things that you know is right to take care of your health. Prevention is the key. Staying on top of your blood work at least every 6 months, and also, going to see your doctor on a regular visits, not just waiting once a year. It's too long. At least every 3 months just to get checked up and see how things are going is a very, very smart thing to do. Thanks for that email. 888-283-7272. This is On Call, the show that's diagnosing hope, one caller at a time. Check out our email newsletter. You can sign up for that there. Also Facebook and Twitter, and your success story. We want to hear about those and celebrate them with you. Now we're going to go with Jim. Hi, Jim. Welcome to the show.
Good to hear your voice. We certainly do really like your program, and we appreciate the effort you've made to help educate us all.
Thank you, Jim. Means a lot.
And it's true. We like it. I also like the idea you throw a scripture in there once in a while.
It's important. Great physician.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I'm calling on behalf of my wife, and she's has a problem with gas.
Okay.
We have a pretty good internal doctor of internal medicine and everything. We still don't seem to be able to get rid of it. So I was going to start here with that. She had a colonoscopy last year, and the doctor didn't have too much to say. He said there was a little discoloration in her colon, and that he wanted her to stop drinking green tea. And then also he said that she has diverticulosis. And but he didn't have anything else much to say. So,
does she have any bleeding, Jim, going on?
No.
No. Okay. All right.
She says she's 75. She's right here listening.
Okay.
I'm very pleased to be hearing your advice and your help.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do this. We're going into a commercial break. And when we come out, we'll talk about issues with gas and when we can't seem to get that to go away and what kind of plan we need to do to come up with her to get her body function the test done, because it's very important to get as much diagnostic testing done as you can when you're dealing with any health challenge. It's just good. It's always good info for me, but also for any doctor that's working in your case and knowing what to do. So we'll just hang tight. We'll talk about gas and what it means to get the digestive tract functioning well and living well. We'll do that in just a moment. 888-283-7272. This is On Call.
Are you ready to chow? It's time for Keto Chow. When it comes to eating healthy, the keto diet has become one of the nutrition leaders in optimizing health, losing unwanted weight, and reaching your health and wellness goals. No extravagant cooking, no long kitchen cleanup, and most importantly, especially for me, it's convenient. Just put quality Keto Chow powder in a bottle, add some heavy whipping cream or your favorite fat, a little water, and boom, shake it up and you're ready to chow. Keto Chow tastes amazing. So make Keto Chow easy for you and your family today with Keto Chow. Let's go chow. Visit Keto Chow online at ketochow.xyz. That's ketochow.xyz.
Connect with On Call Radio and watch On Call TV at InShapeNetwork.com.
Lines are open this hour. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. I'm your health and lifestyle coach. You're listening to the show that's diagnosing hope, one caller at a time. Going into the break, talking with Jim, and we're talking about his wife, who is 75 years young, as I like to say, and she's dealing with some issues with gas. Been to her family medicine doc, internal medicine doc, and they have done testing on her, and everything looked pretty good. Told her that there was some discoloration in the digestive tract, in the colon, and they said to come off of green tea. Is that right, Jim? That was really about the only thing they told her.
Right, that's it.
Okay. Now, what was his reasoning for coming off the green tea? I'm curious.
Well, he thought, the way he mentioned that, I assumed that it was because of the discoloration in the colon.
Yeah, that's not happening. I'm not trying to override, but she should be able to drink the green tea with no problem. I'm just telling you that the green tea is going to do nothing but help with everything that's going on with her, for sure. Okay. Green tea's got nothing but great properties to help the body. It's rare that you just don't see anything negative from green tea at all. So the with the gas though, let me say this to you, Jim. Does she eat a lot of breads and a lot of flour, cow's milk, dairy? Does she eat a lot of that?
Well, here's a funny thing, because I've heard you talk about soy milk. We switched off. We were using regular skim milk for a long time, and then we heard you talk about the dairy and everything, so we went to soy milk, and we do have some cereal. Yes, we have some hot cereal in the winter and some cold cereal.
Okay.
And not a lot of bread. Once in a while, a little bit of rye bread.
But okay, do this for me then. Switch off of soy milk if you're going to do milk and go to goat's milk. Here's why. Soy milk, you don't want to put anything soy in your body, you or your wife. For men, it's going to just literally 25 milligrams of soy is enough to throw off your testosterone level, which is the number one hormone in your body for guys. It'll throw an imbalance off. It'll raise your estrogen levels and lower your testosterone. So your female hormone will go up, which you do have, and your testosterone will go down. For your wife, it'll throw off issues with estrogen and progesterone. Now, even at the age she is, you'd think, well, she doesn't have anything to worry about there. Well, yes, she does. You want to do everything you can to keep the body balanced at whatever season of life you're in, okay? And soy just throws off your hormones. That's the bottom line, and that's why you shouldn't use it. I'm a big anti-soy guy, big time, because it does more harm than it does good to the body. So you can switch off to goat's milk. That would be a good way to go. And with the gas, bottom line is if she's not doing a lot of grains and you've come off the cow's milk dairy, then she's not doing two things. Her bacteria in the actual digestive tract is not where it needs to be. So probiotics are going to be good 3 times a day on an empty stomach for probiotics. And you can pick those up at a health food store. That's number one. Second thing is hydrochloric acid. She's not breaking down her proteins. And when the older we get, after the age of 35, depending on how much stress you've had in your life, there's a breakdown in your digestive tract where your body stops producing enough hydrochloric acid. And when you stop producing a lot of hydrochloric acid, Jim, then your body won't break down proteins very well. If you don't break down proteins very well, then the proteins begin to putrefy in the digestive tract, and it causes a lot of gas. So that's where it's coming from. She starts breaking down her proteins better. You eliminate the soy, and then she builds up her good bacteria in her digestive tract. That's going to be the key for her feeling better and getting rid of this gas. Now, does this gas and bloating happen after every meal? Does it happen at night or in the morning or just periodically during the day?
When it happens, it's usually late in the day or in the evening.
Okay. Reason for that is, does she still have her gallbladder?
Yes.
Okay, great. Here's another thing. There's an amino acid called L-glycine, all right? L-glycine. That's right. And L-glycine and L-taurine, these are two. They actually produce bile salts. Those are the two amino acids that formulate bile salts in the body. And she'll want to take a little dose of that with dinner. What that'll do, because the gallbladder functions best at night. So around her evening meal, and it's what breaks down fats, and it also helps with protein digestion a little bit. But if she'll take that with her evening meal along with the hydrochloric acid, she will stimulate more bile salts. It'll stimulate the gallbladder to function better and to help break down the fats and then ultimately the proteins as well in the digestive tract. So those are just a couple things that will help. And literally her gas should be eliminated, I would say, within a week if she does that. And the other thing, too, I'm a big fan on cleansing and fasting, that sort of thing, as far as the digestive tract goes.
Right.
In my book, Empowering Your Health, I talk about a super cleanse. And the super cleanse is pretty simple. It gets rid of yeast, fungal, bacterial infections that could be in the digestive tract that could cause some of this bloating. So if for some reason that doesn't work, what I just laid out for you, then she'll need to do a cleanse for about 3 or 4 days, the super cleanse that's in my book, then go to that diet, and then go to that regimen. So the anti-inflammatory diet, I'm a big fan of it. Obviously, it's in my book. When somebody has any kind of digestive issue, that's what we start with. So I would encourage you to get started with that and lay out some of the things that I just did for you, and I think she's going to do very, very well. Sounds like you guys are already on a great path of health, and that's something that you're very passionate about, and I'm glad. But your wife will benefit. She really will. And just know that it's not something she's got to live with forever. It's not just she's 75 and it is what it is, and let's stop drinking the green tea and she'll be hopefully okay. It's not really that. There's more to it. But I understand your physician's train of thinking, the line of thinking of the paleness and whatnot, I completely understand it. But I think she's going to be okay either way. Just get started on these protocols and let me know how it goes, okay? Thanks for the call. 888-283-7272. This is On Call. I'd like to thank our producers in the booth. Go tell one person something you learned on this show, and together we can change the health of our friends, our families, and our communities.
Did you know you could listen to the Asa Rx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
This episode is over, but check episode notes for links to products and services you've heard about on this episode. Thanks for listening and subscribing. Please share the Asa Rx audio experience with others and stay in touch by giving us your comment or review.